few years back, I read a book by Thomas Stanley called The Millionaire Next Door, and it completely blew my mind. That's essentially the origin of my story and my path to becoming a millionaire. It challenged all my beliefs at that time and everything that I was doing in my day-to-day life. The book dove into the data about how most American millionaires behave and how they spend their money. And before I read that book, I would see a Ferrari pass me on the street and I would think, wow, that person must be filthy rich. And funny enough, now that I read that book, my mind immediately goes to, wow, that person must be broke. Or, wow, that person used to have a lot of money. Now, obviously that's not the case for every single person that drives a Ferrari or any other fancy car or lives in a mansion. There are plenty of people that are just truly filthy rich, and it's all relative. This book broke down the facts that statistically that is not the case for most millionaires. So in this video, I want to highlight the 10 habits of the average millionaire in America and inject some anecdotal references of my own personal journey about how I transitioned from my old money to my new money. So the first habit is they save 20% of their income on average. Many millionaires might save and invest much more than 20%. Some might be a little bit less than that 20%. When I reflect back on my own journey just a few years back, I was only contributing 6% to my 401k at the time with my employer, and that was it. There's no other investments, no other contributions, no other saving going on with my money. I didn't really have any money goals at the time. I just figured, okay, I'll just do this for the next 40 years and one day I'll wake up in my late 60s and I'll have $1 million in my 401k and I'll be able to retire. I never heard about financial independence or financial freedom, and these aren't things that were on my radar. At the time of making this video, my savings rate fluctuates somewhere between 55% and 70% depending on the given month. But you can see the dramatic difference between saving only 6% all the way up to north of 50% by making some very easy changes in my life. The second habit on this list is about 60% of millionaires in America buy used cars. And the reason for this is used cars will retain their value better over the long run. New vehicles incur much more depreciation on the value of that vehicle in that first year, and when you buy a used car, you let someone else take that depreciation hit for you. And again, for myself, just 4 or 5 years ago, I thought it was completely normal to be leasing a new vehicle every 3 years. I now purchase a used vehicle for cash, so I don't owe any debt on that car, and I'm not paying interest as well on top of that. And I personally care very little about my car turning heads on the street. As I always say, your goal is to actually be rich and not to look rich. So the third habit is most millionaires live according to a budget. They track and measure how much money they have coming in every month and how much they're spending each month. If you don't do this, you have zero control over your money. You don't know how much you're spending, how much you're saving. And think of your budget like your own personal GPS that will help get you to your financial destination and goals. It's gonna be very difficult to achieve a 20% plus savings rate if you're not measuring and managing your budget. So coming at number 4 on the list is paying yourself first. And what this means is as you have income coming in every month, every week, every 2 weeks, you want to make sure that money is first accounted for and going into a saving or an investment account. If your goal is to have a 20% savings rate, once you have your budget, figure out exactly how much money you have to be saving and investing each month, and set that money aside when that money comes in before you go ahead and purchase anything else that you need or want in that given month. That will ensure you're hitting your savings rate target month over month and force you to live below your means. The way that I make sure I pay myself first is I have auto investment plans set with my brokerage accounts. What that means is every single week, money is transferred from my checking account into my investment accounts, and that money gets automatically invested. It's out of sight, it's out of mind. All right, number 5. Own a reasonably priced home and live in it for a really long time. The banks are going to approve you for a mortgage for the maximum amount that they are comfortable lending you. Now, just because a bank approves you for a $500,000 mortgage, for example, doesn't mean you have to go ahead and take out a $500,000 mortgage. Be sure you're not overextending yourself with your monthly mortgage payments, because this is a really easy way to shoot yourself in both feet when trying to save and invest your money. And there's a couple of reasons why it makes sense to live in a home for a long time. The first one is because moving is expensive. You have to pay to move all this furniture and personal belongings, and when you move into a new place, I'm sure you're going to want to decorate it and design it with all new furniture and decor, and those dollar signs start to add up really quick. And the second big reason is because home values tend to appreciate over the long run. When you stay in a home for a long period of time, you let the value of your home appreciate over time, and that builds your equity in that home. So number 6 is more of a truth than a habit, but the truth is most American millionaires have 4 to 5 times more wealth than their next door neighbor. And this should make perfect sense if you're following all the things in this video and watching some of the other videos in my channel, and for example, saving at least 20% of your income and investing it while your next door neighbor is spending 100% of their income. So number 7, most millionaires are long-term accumulators. They recognize that it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. When it comes to building your wealth, for most people, it's slow and steady win the race. You have to be patient and be okay with getting rich slowly. The number 1 asset that younger people have is time. And when you allow your savings and investments to compound and accumulate over many years, the compounding effect that has on your money is incredible. All right, so jumping into the next one, number 8, most millionaires did not inherit their wealth. It's so easy just to assume when someone has wealth that they were a trust fund baby, or they received some large inheritance from their mother, their father, their in-laws, or if you're Mr. Deeds, some long-lost relative that you didn't even know existed. So this one kind of ties back to being a long-term accumulator, but most millionaires become a millionaire in their 50s from a slow and steady earning, saving, and investing. All right, now we're going to close out with this last one here. Most millionaires are concerned with improving all aspects of their life and not just their wallet, and that means also their mind and their body. It's equally as important to keep your mind sharp by reading and educating yourself in topics that interest you as much as it is to exercise and eat a healthy, well-balanced diet. Now, if you can go through this list and just check off every single thing that I rattled off here, you're definitely well on your way to becoming a millionaire, or might already be one. And if you're watching this video and only able to say that yes, I'm doing 1 or 2 of these things or none at all, all. Remember, today's the first day of the rest of your life, and there's no better time than now to incorporate some of these changes into your life. All right, that's gonna do it. As always, I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Check out the description below for links to some free stock and crypto. I'll catch you guys next time.